'89, I was going to college studying communications. And on a dare bet, you know, just a fluke thing, hoping for a free trip to Florida, got involved with the Hawaiian Tropic pageant and surprisingly won the pageant, the international, in '89. At times I feel sexy. You know, it really is an art. People, makeup artists and hairdressers, they have a talent that they're taking you as the canvas and making you into someone. So those times that I've been built up, yeah, I can be feeling very sexy. But do I consider myself a sexy person? No. I'm just kind of an average person. I love doing Baywatch because I was a competitive swimmer when I was younger. I do a little bit of weight training, slightly just for toning. Women that seem to keep their personal lives private seem to be the ones that are the most focused, do the best work. When I'm working, I'm happy. So my goals as far as that, keep challenging myself, keep working.
One of my dreams, my main dream, is to become a successful actress. I've always loved to perform live in theaters, but for the last few years I've been trying to develop my on-camera skills as well. After winning the Hawaiian Tropic pageant, I was invited on the television show Star Search as a spokesmodel. It was an enjoyable experience because I got a lot of exposure from it and I met a lot of nice people. I loved the trip we took to Maui. It was the perfect location to take pictures.
Make your head go to the side.
The sunsets are unbelievable, the colors are so beautiful, and the beaches, they're the best I've ever seen. One of the things I got to do while in Maui was a helicopter ride over the island. It was so beautiful. We went high up over the mountains into the clouds, and then we'd suddenly make a steep drop-off into these green valleys with waterfalls and vegetation. Then we flew down the water along the coast, and we ended up at Hokipa Beach, which is a famous spot for surfers. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely want to try it again. This year has been the most memorable of my entire life, and I just hope that it is only the beginning of good things to come.
My name is Jennifer Blair, and I'm from Alvarado, Texas. I actually started in Hawaiian Tropic running pageants. I was a pageant director, and I got in trouble and stayed out all night one night. My punishment was to enter a Hawaiian Tropic pageant. I wound up winning the state finals in '92 and went on to nationals in Daytona and placed in the top 4 then in '92, and then went on to win international in '93. Honestly, right now, I want to pursue acting. I've sort of had my, I've spent a lot of time in modeling, so now I'm with an acting coach in Dallas. Most of my modeling has been with Hawaiian Tropic or with other swimwear calendars, but it's been focused mainly in swimwear. So I'm sort of trying to venture out right now and do some other types of modeling.
good. 1, 2. Perfect. Good. 1, 2, 3. All right, that was perfect. Excellent.
This is what we're trying to achieve, something like this right here. We're gonna start off with a dry look, and then we're gonna go to the wet look. This is my very favorite shot. It's a very special shot, and it reflects every top model that works for Hawaiian Tropic during the year.
All right, that's beautiful. 1, 2, 3, eyes open. That's great, okay. 1, 2. Good one.
Oh, Robert, he's really weird when he takes pictures. He like gets himself in all these crazy positions. He's like taking pictures like this. I don't know, but he's good.
For all you guys out there that are really envious to say, that guy has an easy job, well, I had to struggle for 5 years for this job. So, I deserve this and I'm happy.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful, beautiful.
1, 2.
That's the cover of the calendar. Be in the pageant book, in the cover of the calendar. It'll be in there with all of our famous shots, the famous shots. The best of the best of Hawaiian Tropic.
Right out of high school, I was 17, I went to college. I started college and I was going full-time for about a year and I started modeling part-time. Now I model full-time and I go to school part-time and I'm a junior in college. I dress totally different to school. I usually wear jeans or sweats and no makeup and I sit in the back of the class and I mind my own business and I take notes and I'm a student and when I work I'm a model and there's two separate things. I've traveled everywhere. I've been to France, Indonesia, Hong Kong, Canada, Spain. I worked in Spain last year around this time. The first few big things that I did at the time were teen and 17. I just recently went to Elite in Chicago. I did an LA Fitness commercial. I think that was my first commercial.
My most exotic place that I've ever been as far as traveling on assignment has been Hawaii, which is my first time. It is a gorgeous place. It's like a totally different world. is my fourth year, consecutive year that is. My first year I competed in one of their local pageants in New Orleans, and I did that 2, 3, and 4. It took me 4 years to win, but I did. Now I'm Miss Hawaiian Tropic, Louisiana. It is a lot of hard work that goes into it. A lot of people think it's very easy. The worst thing has to be getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day to shoot. It's kind of hard to do if you've been up all night and shooting all day previous to that, but you kind of get used to it after a while.
Modeling swimwear is a lot harder than what people think it is. There's so many factors to think of. You got the lighting. You have to think about the sun, the rising and the setting, where the light is the warmest and makes you look great and thin and tanned and beautiful. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work, and I don't think people realize how hard it is to be out there and be in the grueling conditions all day and in the sun and getting up early for the sunrise and staying up late because of the sunset. And so it's a lot of hard work. This is probably one of the most difficult shoots that I've had because we're working with so many different mediums. We're working with still photography, we're working with video, we're working with film. You got to know exactly what you're going to do out there. And even when you're just working just right off the top of your head, you got to put yourself into that position. If they want something really sexy and really, you know, seductive and pouty, you got to put yourself into that position and think sexy thoughts.
I work as a model for Hawaiian Tropic. I've been working with them for the past 2 years, traveling worldwide, and it's led into acting and a few commercials here and there. Time to go kayaking, hiking, everything outdoors I love. I love just being in Mother Nature. When I'm relaxing at home, I love spending time with my animals. I have geese and ducks and goats and dogs and like a farm.
name is Krista Frazier, and I'm from Houston, Texas. I actually have been working with Hawaiian Tropic now. This is my 4th year. It's been wonderful. I think one of my best qualities is to be able to unselfishly give love to people who really deserve it. Sometimes it's a little hard when you get up at 4:30 in the morning, but we've had really good photographers and they've been very solid and they help keep you, getting in the mood, rev you up to get going in the morning when like the coffee just can't do it. Well, it's relaxing, the water's nice, and it's just a beautiful setting, lots of good girls. And it's just a time to really relax and hang out with your friends and get some good work done. I'll keep doing it as long as my good friends are here to hang around with. Hanging out in the daytime, dancing at night, it's been all good.
I'm Carrie Richards, and I'm representing beautiful Beverly Hills, California. I love Hawaii. The water is so blue and the beaches are so beautiful. I really love swimwear and I love modeling it. Working with the girls is great. Get to travel to exotic locations. Yeah, I think it's fun to be sexy and beautiful and to really put your best foot forward in front of a camera because I think it picks up a lot of your personality.
My name is Lola Jean Corwin and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Well, my first time to Hawaii, I did the pageant, and much to my amazement, I got top 4, and then they brought me back for a photo shoot. The direction I'm going in my career is towards, like, you know, TV and film. I want to get on like a sitcom and be like a funny character, you know. I think that would suit my personality best because I'm really goofy. My favorite location would be on like any beautiful island, because like especially when you could get to jump in the water and roll around in the sand and stuff. Like, I'm just a water baby, so I totally enjoy that kind of stuff. I love to film. I just feel when I'm in front of the camera, that's the best time, because like, I don't know, I think I'm natural. It's just easy. People always think I'm Hawaiian. They always ask me, are you Hawaiian? And I'm like, well, my mom's Korean and my dad's Swiss German. And, you know, Hawaii's mostly made up of Asian people, and it's all mixed up, you know, and then they end up being Hawaiian. So I guess I do have like that kind of quality, and that's probably why, you know, Hawaiian Tropic has used me so much, is because I have that, you know, tropical kind of look or something. I've been to like Aruba and Bahamas through Hawaiian Tropic, and it's been like great, because I would never have gone to those places, because I mean that stuff doesn't happen to normal people, so it's really cool.
Jennifer Corliss from Atlanta, Georgia. Getting up early. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. Shooting in Hawaii, there's a lot of gorgeous locations. The water's beautiful. All the flowers are gorgeous, and the volcanic rock is really neat. It's a great place to shoot. I'm working on a singing career, so hopefully that will take off one day.
From Palm Beach, Florida, I'm Cheryl Depew, 1996 Miss Hawaiian Tropic International winner. When I was awarded the title of Miss Hawaiian Tropic International, I discovered a lot of opportunities. It's really given me good experience. This is my first actual calendar shooter that I've ever done. Actually, I've discovered a side of me that I really photograph well and video well, and I'm just feeling very good this week. I'm interested in vocal and acting, so by connections through Hawaiian Tropic, I've been meeting a lot of positive people, and hopefully it'll lead me to a successful acting career as well as vocal career. This is probably one of the biggest, most positive things that have happened to me, is being selected to come and shoot with the crew for the 1997 calendar.
My name's Shana Hiatt.
I've actually been doing it since '94. I did Hawaiian Tropic in Montreal. I was on the cover of Playboy for Hawaiian Tropic. This is probably going to be like the close to my Hawaiian Tropic because I'm getting an agent in Los Angeles, and I'm going to go back to school and finish my broadcast journalism degree. We have fun. We have lots of fun. It's not all glamour. Half the time it's not. It seems like it's glamorous, but it's not really. Yes, we have to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and shoot till 9:30. And then we have to go in, take naps, do whatever we want to do, eat, and then come back and shoot sunset, and then go to bed because we got to get up so early. We all have a good time. It's like a big slumber party. I love it.
I'm Erin, Kalin.
I've been on 4 photo shoots. Oh yeah, this is definitely our office. We get here in the morning and we have all our swimsuits and we keep trying things on and matching each other up and having a great time. It's beautiful here.
I'm going to be at this photo shoot for as long as I can.
My name is Kalin Olsen, and I'm from Hot Springs, Arkansas. I've been modeling for Hawaiian Tropic for about 1.5 years now. In 1997, I posed for Playboy, and I actually got into Playboy through Hawaiian Tropic. I went to a pageant in '96, and that's where I met my contact for Playboy. I guess my favorite part of shooting is just being in front of the camera, and I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, and that's what I love to do, and that's where I love to be. So when I'm in front of the camera, I'm in my own world and happy there. I guess one of my best qualities are my eyes, because that's what photographers tell me. So I thank my mom and dad. There's a lot of traveling involved. We get to go to a lot of beautiful places. A typical day is waking up at 4 o'clock, being ready by 5, shooting for about 3 hours, and taking a break and going back and shooting till sunset.
that I was the international winner last year. It was a tough road. It was a lot of traveling, and I had a great time and just a lot of work. And now that I've turned over my crown to Charlotte, I am a bit more relaxed and can kind of lay back a little bit more. The beach we went to with all the exotic trees was Hapuna Beach, and it was really beautiful, and we got some great shots out there, and we had a lot of fun. As far as getting used to being in the camera, it takes a little time to really feel comfortable, and I think after last year, I'm a bit more comfortable now, and everything kind of just flows a little better, and I'm used to working with the production group too.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Arlt, and I'm from the Space City State, Houston, Texas. It's a lot of fun, though, to actually get in the moment when you're shooting, especially like in the sand, crawling around in the sand. It's almost like you're an actress, you know, and I'm aspiring to be an actress, so it's almost like my cup of tea. You get to get into the moment and really kind of put yourself in the mode when you're crawling around in the sand, and you're just trying to capture a lot of really nice looks. On my last visit to Hawaii, I competed in the U.S. finals, Hawaiian Tropic, and I had a wonderful time, but it was a really, really nervous week. This time is more of a big job, modeling and things like that, but it'll be a lot of fun, and there's not as much stress behind that. When I started competing, first in my hometown of Houston, and then went ahead and went to state, and then U.S., and in April I just achieved the Miss Hawaiian Tropic International winner. So my life has really changed. All of a sudden I get to travel. I've gotten to go to some really nice places. Never dreamed of going to France twice already. I mean, things are just happening so fast. So I have a lot to look forward to, and I'm very blessed and fortunate that I have this opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to the future.
I just started modeling swimwear this year, and I love it. I think with my career, I just want to take it as far as I can and do the best that I can. I keep myself in good shape? Well, first of all, if I wasn't in good shape, then I would be without a job. So I keep that in the back of my mind. I just work out in the gym, try to eat right, just so I can stay up to my best physical level. So far, I've gotten to travel all over the world. I've been to a lot of exotic places. I'm really proud of what I've done, and I just hope to take it to another level.
Now let's do Vegas the way it was meant to be done. A little glitz, some glitter, a lot of glamour, and all my friends. Woo! We're in Vegas! Come on, baby! Tell me you love me! Show me the money, honey! That is so cool!
You know who used to run this town?
Know who used to run this town, baby? Was it Bugsy?
No, it wasn't him.
Okay, was it Lucky Luciano?
No, it wasn't him either.
All right, well, how about Arlt?
No, it wasn't him either.
Well, then who ran this town, baby, now?
Elvis ran this town. 839 consecutive sold-out performances. You better run. You better run.
Hey, it's Eiffel Tower! It's Patty! Vive la France!
What do you do for fun? I mean, like,
What you want to do?
You know, I want to dance.
You want to dance?
I like clubs.
Can you do the helicopter?
Well, I'll try.
Can you ride the
Get me out
pony?
there. Let me hear some music.
I got to get this girl to a dance floor.
After the contestants explored the hotel scene, it was time to experience the hottest nightclubs in Vegas, like Studio 54, Club Rio, and Raw.